Hey guys, yeah. So anyway, here's some channel news here. Yesterday, I got started on the Phineas and Ferb commentary, and Disney didn't see eye to eye on it. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Now, will this affect the other things I was planning to do? Yes. As of now, I'm gonna go ahead and postpone the live-action Fairly OddParents movie commentaries. Yeah, I don't want any backlash from Nickelodeon Company. One company's good enough. So yeah, they're going into the useless idea bucket with my two comic dubs. Yeah, the cold dub is meant to be a replacement. So anyway, I don't want to disappoint, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do a proper old versus new like Nostalgia Critic does. And give my honest opinion on...
Not so fast.
Wait a minute, what was that?
That was me, Blind Bat. The fandom of Phineas and Ferb.
The fandom of Phineas and Ferb? That's a long name.
You can just call me Fan, for short.
Okay, Fanny, and why you here?
To forbid you from doing this comparison. I've watched a lot of P&F, and there's absolutely no remake of this movie.
Yeah, I did.
No, there isn't.
Okay, let me elaborate. It wasn't filmed, it wasn't animated at all. But it was written on DeviantArt Heart. That's the one I'm comparing it to.
Oh, that trash you think.
What? You have your negative opinions?
No, I'm more over what other people say about it.
Okay. Anyway, since this is gonna be a commentating old versus new, I guess I should go ahead and use an avatar for this, so you don't have to see the black screen. So, for this occasion, I'm gonna use Sonic from Sonic X.
And since I'm his opposite, I'm using Shadow for the occasion.
So, let's get started. The main focus is pretty much on four main characters. So we'll just go through them in brief summary for those who haven't seen the show yet. Phineas, American, son of Linda Flynn, formerly pop star Lindana, brother of Candace Flynn, obsessed with busting, has a huge crush on Jeremy. Ferb, British, doesn't talk much, except when he has to, son of Lawrence Fletcher, an antique seller.
Yeah, and why did Redjoey have to describe all that?
Again, for those who haven't seen it yet. Anyway, since we already know those characters, yeah, there's more, but they're more pushed aside. We'll get to that in round 2. But we'll focus on the characters we mainly focus on. Anyway, we're going to be mainly focusing on the second dimension. In that dimension, instead of Phineas and Ferb having the imagination they had, they're pretty much just faded. They don't have any imagination. Ever since Summer has been banned, they just did nothing all day. Oh yeah, and also, it's just like before. The Ferb is the silent type, which makes you question why he has a voice actor if second dimension Ferb wasn't gonna talk. Oh wait, he talks in the game. Why am I questioning that? But yeah, in Redjoey's version, it's the other way around.
I find that totally unnecessary. Because Phineas doesn't speak very much, he has to use title cards in order to do it. Therefore reintroducing the monkeys and the you need to work on your penmanship joke. And Ferb, oh boy, I agree with the second dimension. He's annoying.
On the other hand, that was kind of the joke. And finally we have Candace, whose personality I don't think changed that much. She's still the leader of the family.
Resistance.
Right. It's resistance in that version, but in Redjoey's version it's called the family.
Whatever. In my opinion, I'd much rather have the original talking cast instead of having Ferb talk all the time. I mean, it saves you the eardrums, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that. For the fact that the characters might need some development from time to time. But hey, he's working on a redux of this, and who knows, maybe the characters might have some slight changing. So, all in all, I guess, point 1 should go to the original casting. Now, as I said, there were more characters, but they were more pushed aside. Meanwhile, Redjoey decided that maybe they should be more involved in his version. So, we do get more involvement with characters such as Jeremy and Stacy, and even Phineas and Ferb's friends do get some screen time, and they go into the second dimension with Phineas, Ferb, Perry, and Doofenshmirtz in Redjoey's version.
I won't argue that maybe they would have given the characters more screen time other than focusing on our title characters. But, yeah, I guess Redjoey's version of having the characters be more involved was okay.
And I won't be going into brief summary about the first dimension characters. You're just gonna have to see the series for yourself in order for that to happen. I will once again be focusing on the second dimension. Going into the family again, we'll go into Isabella's role. When you look at Isabella in the first dimension, she's pretty much, as I call her, the cutest character out of all of them. Can't argue with it. But in the dimension of Redjoey, she's more snarky than the rest. Sort of a tomboy. Now, do we remember her being tomboyish or snarky in the original?
Kinda hard to tell, don't you think?
Anyway, in the original second dimension, we do have Buford and Baljeet. However, unlike that, where Baljeet and Buford retain their bully status, we again have the other way around. Wow, Redjoey really does love to think that in another dimension, it has to be the exact opposite of what you really are.
I really hate that cliche.
And we also have the Thunderbolt Brigade, which is technically a second dimension version of the Fireside Girls. Oh yeah, and because of the whole addition of characters, we also get Stacy, Jeremy, Lil Susie, and later on, Jenny and Django. Would you say those were great additions to the cast?
I would suppose. Yeah.
So, anyway. Aside from that, we also have a lot of other characters, but like the other movie, they were also pushed aside as just cameos and whatnot. I don't even remember if there was a mother or father in Redjoey's second dimension. Oh yeah, and also there's Major Monogram and Carl in the second dimension, who are known in the second dimension as Lavina.
No, it's ALCA, the organization without a cool acronym.
This argument again? Okay, if we're gonna be talking about all the inaccuracies of your version as opposed to what's in Redjoey's version, we're gonna be doing this all day. And yeah, maybe the other acronym might have been better, but it still focuses on the animation, so there's no contradicting it. So, all in all, I'd go with the Redjoey version. While the original version has the characters, they're more pushed aside than having them have more screen time. And trust me, it's better to have more screen time than no screen time at all. So, Redjoey's version gets the points. And here we go to the most important part of casting. Antagonists. Now, we can agree that the antagonist is not in the first dimension, but in the second one. So we're going to go ahead and talk about both characters in one. The antagonist, no certain, is Heinz Doofenshmirtz. In the first dimension, he's more comical, having a scarring childhood of Gimmelstump, and ever since then, decided to take over the tri-state area. An idea given to him by Linda, no doubt. And in the second dimension, he's more evil, and the reason for it is more still humorous because it's for a lost cause. I won't exactly give that away, but we can say for sure it's silly. Now, while that is a good thing, the antagonist isn't Doofenshmirtz. What? That's right, my name's Levi. Instead, we get Vanessa.
Really? Okay, I don't remember anything about Vanessa. All I remember is her singing I Walk Away. That's all. Period.
I see you haven't bought the DVD. Yeah, there was a DVD. And in that said DVD, we do in fact get Vanessa. Why she was cut out, I'll never know. But she was in fact added in Redjoey's version. And in that version, the antagonist who rules over all the tri-state area in the second dimension is in fact Vanessa, whose true intentions of being evil are actually more explained in musical number, but it's still explained. And also, there's both henchmen in the movies. In the Doofenshmirtz Rules Tri-State Area movie, the robots are known as Normbots, who are technically the second dimension version of Norm. But, in Redjoey's version, we sort of get a little backstory that Doofenshmirtz did rule, but then Vanessa took over the throne, destroyed the Normbots, and then took all the animal agents and turned them into creatures known as Animal Borgs, led by the threatening and dangerous Plataborg, who's actually more threatening in this design than the design that's actually, yeah, they're both equally threatening. I take that back.
Redjoey's Plataborg is okay. I guess it's true that he is equally threatening. He still has all the mechanical doodads that helped him chase after Phineas and Ferb when they tried to escape. But why the additional agents?
Don't you understand? It was supposed to be after the father ruled. She took over the throne and replaced the Normbots with these cyborgs. It's not that hard to miss. And yeah, they do keep the whole eye patch scar thing. That was actually kind of funny. And also, we do see that Plataborg and Vanessa are friends, less than having Plataborg just be a leader of the army. But aside from that, that's the only antagonist we have. Fanny, your thoughts?
Well, I'm kind of mixed here. Doofenshmirtz is the main antagonist in the movie. Meanwhile, it's Vanessa in the Redjoey version. They both do an equally good job. Well, Vanessa had to use a mindless Slaveinator to rule the tri-state area. All Doofenshmirtz had to do was say, "Loki, I have scary robots. You'll obey me now." So, yeah, I'd call it a draw.
Well, to me, Vanessa had more threatening roles here. Her slave bots were threatening. Her tri-state area results were scary. We'll get to that later. And overall, it was pretty good. So all in all, I think Vanessa being ruler was a much better option than Doofenshmirtz. I mean, hey, he has to take a break from being the antagonist of every single dimension. I'm looking at you, time-traveling Phineas and Ferb. And maybe Vanessa would have made a much better ruler than her father. So, point goes to Redjoey again.